All right. So I'm going to start today. I guess for the afternoon. Yes, Mr. Lincoln. Okay, so we can see over here there's Minky, and Minky's having a little bit of concern right now, right? Because there's David circling around. There's raw beef bones here and all that. They've had them earlier today. So I'm just giving everyone the beef bones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring up food, and I'm going to talk to the dogs here in regards to chronological seniority and how to give your dogs food. These are all dogs that are all extremely aggressive. They are resource significant in behavior. They will attack, etc. Obviously, there's Lincoln, who's like that, 160 pounds. There's David, certainly, absolutely. And you can see even while he has his raw beef bones here, with Lincoln right here, there's no behavior that used to be happening where he was trying to attack each other. Usually it would be David coming to attack. And then we have Minky, who's right underneath here, who's circling in front of David on purpose. So I'm going to bring out some pizza, right? Some little pizza slices and stuff like that. And I'm going to feed them, and I'm going to show you how that they are all going to eat without having any concerns. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them in chronological seniority, as in when each dog arrived in the home. And the reason why it's important to have chronological seniority is so that it allows each dog to maintain their level of self-esteem. Just like you starting a job at a new place, you know who got hired before you, and you know who got hired after you, or who gets hired after you. So you know chronologically, hey, I should get the promotion, etc. So that we maintain that, just like in a family. Hi, Lincoln. Just like in a familial structure, where he's knocking me over, where then the dogs understand that they still have their ego, right? They still have placement in the home, familial structure, not domination. To think it's a dominant or alpha aspect is to be diluted by looking at a two-dimensional process of a familial structure, which is contextual, which is codependent. So I'm going to go bring out the stuff here. So we have Lincoln, we have David right here. See how David's right here with a beef bone? So I'm going to show you how simple it is to feed them, right? And Sammy's going to come out, so I'm going to go grab it. So you can see that there's an animation here, right? So this is what they're getting. So it's all this little cheese and stuff like that. So you can see the animation. See David getting concerned, right? You see David trying to process what's going on with his behavior. So he doesn't know, David, you're okay. Hi, David, you're okay. So he's watching Minky. See how he's tracking Minky? You're okay. You're okay. So I'm just going to look around. I'm going to look around. No, Lincoln, stop, please. Right, so we have this stuff, right? We don't have the crowding that's going on, because I've taught the dogs concept of patience. Wait, the word is wait, W-A-I-T. So they understand wait, stay, and stop contextually. So now you see this patience? Because they know it's going to happen. I'm going to keep my word. If I said I'm going to give them snacks, then they go, okay, cool. And then when I use the words just wait, etc., and their name, as in chronological seniority, as in who's here, because Sammy's not here, so it'd be Lincoln, just wait, please. Minky, wait, please. William, wait, please. David, wait, please. Then they learn the words and their names, so they become egocentric to contextual phrasing, so they listen for their name to whatever else is attached, because then it correlates and connotates further on down the line of the process of thinking. Contextually, just like the aspect of consciousness itself in that structure. So then when I do that part, right, see, they're not crowding. They're waiting. They have patience. They're cogently thinking. So we see the facing head off here, which could cause David to misinterpret what happens. You saw that long, hard blink that David did, that cogently processes what's going on. So we can tell by eye behavior what the dog is doing as well at all times. They're just hanging out here. David, you're okay. Right? You saw how David kind of mannerism over to the right-hand side a couple of times peripherally as Lincoln walked by. That conscious structure of codependency, interdependency, egocentric, where am I in relation to everyone else, in relation to what I am doing and what is central to me, which is two beef bones on each side, front and rear of his butt, as they continue waiting for what's happening. Here comes William becoming impatient. So he cogently gets up, and I talked about my earlier post this morning about jealousy and the structure and sophistication of processing jealousy. So now I'm going to give that to them. Lincoln, come please. So Lincoln doesn't know if I'm actually serious now. Lincoln, come please. Good boy. Come please. So he cogently thinks about it, so he starts moving forward. So I encourage him to come over. That's it. It's really that simple. Teaching, passive or in motion. Stop please. So David's concerned about that part. So I'm going to give this to Lincoln, right? And they're going to get the big ones as well. Here you go, silly boy. And then Minky's here. Minky, come please. So there's not any crowding. They learn patience. William, right? There's William right behind David. See how David becomes concerned? He doesn't know how to process what's going on. Here you go, David. Hi, silly boy. And I keep my hand out a little bit longer, so that way it teaches him that if he's going to attack anyone, he's going to attack me. So if he's concerned about stuff like this, he'll bite me first, and he has done so when other dogs have been around him. So then just about being patient. So I have this last piece de la resistance. Each pizza is huge. You see Lincoln's quite animated and interested in what's happening. The dogs are all eating. David and Lincoln, and see how David is? He's got a beef bone. You can see how David's hunkered down because I'm providing protection as a, not as a leader, as a familial symbol. Then we understand familial symbols creating the dependency structures in regards to context, right? Of consciousness. What do I do? Who do I belong to? Where am I? Who am I? Etc. So 3 more waiting. Hi, silly boy, David. See, David's anticipating now. So I'm going to just get the last ones out here to the monkey boys. Okay, Lincoln. There you go. And then William. See how David's waiting? William, come please. And then there he is. I say, hi, silly boy. You're okay. And keep the hand out a little bit longer, right, to create that aspect. I talked about resource guarding yesterday night. So I'm proving everything that I say in real time. Nothing that I say is false. Nothing is refutable. This is absolute 100% effective on everything. Hi, silly boy. So we don't have the concerns. That's for Sammy, please. So then he identifies the pronouncing of other individuals within the familial structure. Contextually, he has comprehension of identification of other things. So now he's understanding. He's hearing that, and he's trying to process through. And if I say it again, he'll walk away. No, Lincoln. So then we'll leave him on his own, and then he'll head off because he's realized, okay, there's no more further conversation that's happening. So I'll keep my hand still, so not give him any indication to pay attention to what I'm doing, and he will essentially become not bored, but he'll realize cogently, oh, nothing's happening. See, there he is, right? So his mannerism over here is non-verbal fluency. No, Lincoln. Sorry, silly boy. So I have to make I have to make an acknowledgement of his non-verbal fluency, right? He's communicating with me when he came over and made a more overt look at my face. If I don't acknowledge that he's done that, no, Lincoln, I'm sorry, silly boy. Right? So he becomes sad, but he's cogently processing it through. See, now he comes to a realization without any oppressive behavior on his own. Come to the conclusion, it's not going to happen. And then this guy comes over opportunistically, no, but looking at, okay, maybe perhaps the structure here with me, the relationship we have is different. So then each dog is handled differently due to the personality. So you see that right here again, there's no issue that's happening. And if an issue does happen, now we're getting crowded. Well, David, no, Lincoln. So then David understands by me talking to him and him, oh, Dad's got it handled. Supervision, right? This way that they can have raw beef bones here, they can all be interacting without any issues. I'm down in a compromised position, so the dogs themselves know physically I'm compromised in the ability to stop anyone from fighting. If I was to stop them from fighting, I would see this with David here. Hi, silly boy, you're okay, David. Lincoln, if I was to get into a fight, I would end up going head first into a foray that would be quite significant. So all these parts, see the flies now, it's going to irritate David, which then is by the association right here with Lincoln. Relational to the point is where William is, and always cognizant to David is his difficult relationship with Minky. So we're always cognizant of all the fluidity of the parts at all times, and then we can tell what happens with behavior. David, you're okay. See, he's getting a bit more hunkered down. Watch the video again. You can tell there's a silence, the respiratory aspects of behavior change and shift, which means that the dog starts to freeze up physically. You can see that physiological manifestation, right? Psychological process has to physically manifest somehow, either through adrenaline exhaustion. A physical aspect of behavior has to exhaust the psychological process that occurs in your head, right? We get stressed out. What do? You know, smoke up a little joint, whatever, you know, whatever. You know, eat food, whatever. You're okay, right? The concern. You're okay, David. See how he's leaning away, David. You're okay. You're okay, David. You're okay, David. See that? So his concern. See how afraid he is at the time? David, you're okay. So if I didn't have this here, he may have lunged at me as well. David, you're okay, silly boy. So you see how he was concerned that I might come back at him just now? So he's done it where he's been on the ground and someone has approached him several times in the past, families, and he's attacked them, right? He's bitten them and all that stuff. It's quite significant because he's 200 pounds, 3 feet 2 inches at the shoulders themselves, as you can see. David, you're okay. So he's wondering what's going on, if there's more food here because Lincoln is here now. So it has nothing to do with aggression. David's kind of going, oh, wait a minute, what could possibly be there? Because he sees Sammy's little thing on the tray. See the proximity? Lincoln, move please, Lincoln. David, you're okay. So that, no, Lincoln. So then to avert the possible issue between the two of them, I maintain a conversation. I fake the simple tone of being calm. There's a lot of practice that goes on. So all this stuff that happens, I gotta get up. Oh, okay, sorry, second here. And just put that up here. So all of the stuff I have to do is that, no, Lincoln, is I have to always keep cognizant of what's happening with all the other dogs at all times. If I'm not cognizant, then they start doing whatever they want. It causes them to be afraid if I'm not keeping them protected. No, David. He's so big his nose might knock it over. So here it is right behind me. So we have some, so now William gets a bit concerned, but he heads off, goes grabs a bone, keeps an eye out where David is. Once David is out of view and David isn't, here he comes, David. There you go, in this situation. There's not a rush to attack each other because they trust that I'm going to be paying attention at all times. No, David. So it's all about love. When there's a fight, you've seen in the videos before, I give them a hug. I help them feel safe. Every single dog, no matter how dangerous, no matter how skittish, no matter how calm, no matter how normal, the psychology is exactly the same. Similar templates of behavior like it is with human beings. This is all done. No treats, no medication, because when I'm addressing the issues, nonverbal body language, when Lincoln was coming over to talk to me, I have to acknowledge it. Then he learns that I'm understanding what he's doing, and it trains me to pay attention. Do I have to post up to have the dogs kept? Yeah, I do that because this belongs to my landlord, right? This thing, and I'm not supposed to be using the porch actually, but she lives in China or something, right? So I don't talk to her. She doesn't like the fact that I have dogs and all this stuff, but no one's gonna rent this old place. So I have these up here because the floor is a little shaky. So I put it there to keep the solid parts available for them to run and the non-solid parts where they don't destroy it. So that's why it's there. They don't really care about that, but that's why I do that. Normally I would just leave it wide open, but then it would cause possible, holes in the ceiling, and I don't think I want to pay for that. But yeah, so it's just all the interactions with everybody. Even like Lincoln here, he wants affection, so I'm going to give him affection as he tries to pull away because he wanted that, but he thinks he's in trouble. Hi, silly boy. See? So if I stick with it and I maintain constant physical conduct with him, he learns presumption of regularity, so to speak, right? But in other words, he learns that I'll still be there. Right? Hi, silly boy. See, he comes up for the approach. Coach, you see, hi, silly boy. Hi, silly boy. The licking is always a codependency behavior on a dog. It's not because the dog's happy to see you. It's a codependency behavior. It's an inability to maintain the structure of comprehension of the relationships, so the dog becomes a bit panicked, right? When you come home, the dog licks your face all over the place, right, to see what you've killed as well. Where's Lincoln's scars came from? Oh, from something before. But so it's always about giving the dog the understanding that they're always safe, right? As long as the dog's understanding that they're safe, and we let them feel that they'll always be protected, then there's no problem. Then they will always rely on us to keep them safe. Even stuff like this. So keeping them safe means that we're also understanding what they're saying to us at all times. At all times. If they know we're talking to them, absolutely, they hear us, blah, 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 blah. But for them to know that we're listening to them is huge, because they're nonverbal 98% of the day, right? You aggregate all the sounds they make in a day, it's less than 2 minutes in a day. which is less than 98 or more than 98%. But so they're always paying attention to what we're saying. We have to have the context. We have to let them understand what's happening. When we talk, they have to hear the tone of our voice where it sounds like this is, we got it all in control. This is a human world that our dogs are living in. So, and we understand this right there. There's Minky there, there's Dave there. He's got 3 bones now. Even more reason for him to want to, right? Because now David has to pay attention to the bone behind him, the bone he's eating, and the bone in front of him as well. And he's backing up. And you see that? As long as I let David know that I'm watching him, he's okay. Lincoln wants to go by. Okay, go, William. See, he wants to walk by. I got to get up though. Ouch. So the behavior that that I'm saying, right? So here we go, right here. There's Dave right there. Okay, go, Lincoln. Go, Lincoln. Thank you, Lincoln. So you see how close that Lincoln gets, right? Because I'm here. And then they become accustomed to that feeling of not being angry while other dogs are around them and all that. And when I do that, then what happens is they learn to be calm around themselves by themselves. So if I leave this area, which I've shown in the other videos where Minky and David attack each other almost, and I'm holding David back, calming him down, and then you see me walk into my kitchen as I'm talking to everyone here, and then David and Minky are out there just hanging out. So these things can all be dealt with. The structure of behavior is super simple if we stop complicating it. And we actually, all you have to do is compare what would happen to you if you were in a similar situation. Truly the empathy, putting yourself in your dog's paws, so to speak, and then you can see all these things that are happening. I just talked to somebody today who adopted a dog from Forever Freed, and I said a few things, and I said, well, what do you think? And she said, well, I think this, right? And she was seeming nervous to say certain things. I went, and I was like, so do you think it's because she's insecure? And she goes, well, yeah, I think so, but I'm not. I'm like, exactly. And then I said, well, what could the possibilities be? And then we figure out what the answers can be from what the dog's potential history or possible histories could be. We had a profile of what's going on. All right, I'm going to let you go. I got to get back to work. I have to work on some other stuff. I can't wait till I get my my baseball cards that I just ordered. I just started getting into trading cards and all that, and I have a couple that are coming in that are going to be hopefully lucrative. So I know it's one of those silly things, but I'm pretty sure I'm getting advice from somebody who's extremely talented when it comes to sports trading cards. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.